there's always a time when, as a creator, you are just dumbstruck. Like, you can't think of an idea. You are like lost. You feel like, what else do I go for? Right? Or like, what do I do? Or you just feel uninspired. Maybe you have ideas and things that you want to create, but you just don't feel like the energy is there for you. Some of the things that a lot of creators do recommend, and I recommend it too, is change it up a bit. Take a break. Sometimes, and maybe it's my generation, but you get into this hustle mentality or this grind culture, if you will. And you want to just continually push out everything and churn it and think that working hard is going to be your prove your level of success at some point. But the fact of the matter is that you don't need to just grind it out or hustle. Like, you need to take breaks. You need to have those mental health checks every once in a while, just so you feel rejuvenated, right? I think we've learned in the workforce sector that a lot of people, especially my younger friends and my younger cultures, they know the whole idea of like, you don't want to burn out. I'm 40. I mean, look 40, or maybe I look way older. Who knows? But I was of that generation, you know, the unk, if you will, right? Millennial generation, where I still kind of had that Gen X kind of mentality. And so, like, I thought for the longest time, I got to go to college, I got to get a degree, I have to work my ass off, and I got to work at shitty, sucky jobs for the longest time until I could finally get into that upper management, director, manager level. And that's success. Seeing that grind and working 9 to 9 every day, that's success. I mean, what did that get me? I lost my job right when COVID hit, and I found myself unemployed, no longer in a high powered position, and all of a sudden I'm like left what to do. It was that point when I realized how much time I missed from my personal life, not, balancing personal, kids growing up and stuff like that, and work. And so that was kind of the kick in the ass to say, well, what do you want to do? What do you really want to live your life for? Right? And that mentality in us, it shifts when you have that kick in the butt, where it's like, we have one life to live. What are we going to do with it? Are we going to spend the entire day's end until we are no longer, we're put in the dirt or we're no longer breathing, doing the work for others in the sense of building other people's kingdoms? Or at some point, are we going to build our own? Right? Like, at what point do we say enough's enough? I want life for me. If you're finding you're doing what you love and you're able to make and create and sustain that, then all the power and do it. Or maybe you can't yet because you don't make that income. But if you're able to make that time to at least put into what you love and that passion, maybe one day you'll feel it. Maybe you can't. Maybe you're going to be stuck working at 9 to 5. But I would never, ever go back to the grind culture of, I'm going to, work hard to succeed. Like, now, if someone offered me a director level position to make twice my salary, I would say no. I don't want that responsibility. And I think a lot of us out there, like, you're watching this now, you don't feel that same way. I mean, you feel the same way. You wouldn't do that. Only because we've, like, at the end of the day, what, you're not really working for yourself. It's not like you're working at a company or organization to be able to own it one day, right? No, because if you die, you're going to be replaced. They'll be sad. Maybe some people will be sad for a minute, but you're just a head in a seat. And that kind of hurts. That kind of stings to think about it that way. So that's all those things really kind of remind me, like, and maybe that's what drives you too. Like, we create not only because we have that joy and that passion to want to create, but, let's be real. Let's be selfish, right? Let's be real for a minute. Part of it is that I would hope to make it a full-time career. I would hope to be able to make an income from it. Maybe if you just want a side income just to pay off bills or, pay for your expenses that you do, right? Like, we get into it for the passion, the joy, but we do get in for some income. Like some income's nice. I mean, I got my first YouTube payout. It was only like $100, but that's still $100 more than what I would have had. And it's kind of satisfies that, like, I created content and actually got something. That's cool. If I had to, like, actually like, kind of package what I'm saying, make sure you're taking the time for yourself and for your creation and not just serving others. And I get it's weird if you're like in religious at all, right? The whole idea of religion is like, you work to serve other people. Like, no, you have to serve yourself. Because if you break down and you can't manage yourself, you're not going to be able to provide for others. And it's not, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want, like, don't be selfish, but like, you got to have a little bit of selfishness, right? And so that's where it's like that part of it is what drives the creative fool to say, hey, I'm going to do this every time. Like, I spent the past like week and a half sitting back looking at what I did last year as a content creator and how do I up it up for this year? Or how do I up the game for... And then I wonder, how do I up the game for this year? Like, I didn't think to plan out content for the entire year, like a whole content strategy, if you will. But of course, we watch every content creator. They talk about, oh, where's the content strategy? What's your content strategy? Let's talk about content strategy for blah, blah, blah. So I guess, yeah, it makes sense to make one. So that's why you're going to get more videos like this. The From the Heart series where it's from the Heart series, not the other from the... We're not going to go there. But if you want my opinions, you can follow me on TikTok, and that's usually where I put a lot of my opinions, or on social media. But that's another story. Yeah. Where am I going with this? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, expect more unscripted, kind of this vlog-esque series on Fridays. I think it'll be sometimes tech tips, sometimes talking about gear, and sometimes just this, talking about the whole mentality of creation culture. I think it's needed, and I think it's warranted. I think it's fair for us to sometimes talk about it. And I will be your creation therapist, if you will. If you want to watch more videos, subscribe to the channel here. If you give this a like, that'd be great. I don't expect a lot of views with this video, but even for the few, if you've watched it, just give it a thumbs up. That tells me that, hey, someone out there is watching it. Otherwise, I'm Joe. This is Matsu Excel. Now, shut up. Go shoot. Get out there. Peace.